the channel. I'm Handington as Bob Ross, once again. I apologize for the interruption yesterday. There was an unscheduled interruption, but now I am back and have began to resume. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm a bit tired today. That's why, gently speaking, as though I was Bob Ross, is actually very easy and relaxing for me too. So, where we last left off, we were in the middle of finishing up the shout out to Angelwinx. However, the coloring will not take as long as it took to draw the outline. So today will be a double feature, but I will tell you what is up next in a little bit. Right now, we're going to take our happy little pencil here, a nice little rosy pink shade. We're going to start to draw. But of course, we have to remove the Handington eyes, or else it gets harder to maneuver. And it appears my pencil is now stuck underneath my computer. Now I have it back. So, this is the logo, and we will be using it for reference. The top part of her hair is pink, so we will start here. We will only color in half, and since in the picture there is no distinct line to separate the two, the colors just flow right into each other. Therefore, we will not draw a separate line to distinguish which hair color starts and ends where. Now this is a very mild and gentle shade of pink. It doesn't show up on camera as well as it does in real life, especially due to the fact that this is rather low lighting. If you would like, I will make it a bit brighter and see what I can do. But considering that I am streaming this in the middle of the day and there is nobody around to watch, because most of my audience are younger and in school or busy and not able to come, there is no one here to actually respond and vote. So I will give it a shot to make it brighter, to see the hair a bit better. Down you go. This is my side light. Compared to the quality before, hopefully this is improved. At least you can see the coloring of the hair a little bit better. Now we will take our secondary shade of pink. This is a darker shade of pink. I had to touch the trackpad in order to see the coloring of her icon a bit better, because you see her rosy cheeks are also the same color as the darker shade that her skirt is. This darker pink shows up easier on the camera. And now the top half of you goes under the computer as I draw. Now, we're going to draw a secret little message here. It says hi. And we're going to be scribbling right over it. And nobody will ever know that we actually said hi. That'll be our little secret. Now, as an artistry trick, you may notice the other part of the skirt here. In order to show that it's a different shade of pink, especially with the colored pencil, if you're automatically pushing down on the colored pencil as hard as possible, you can't make it darker. There are other tricks in order to make the shades the darker colors that you would want. Because in colored pencils, it's easier to draw lighter than it is to draw darker. To get a vibrant color, you need to draw a lot darker and push down harder onto it. We have now finished drawing the skirt. And now, to draw the inside, we will take our mechanical pencil again and add in a little light shading of gray. This helps to blend the colors. I would recommend using a normal pencil instead of a mechanical pencil, as it comes out better that way. But I have this right here, so that's what I'm using. And now we will go over it once more to smooth it out. And make it look darker. And now there is contrast. Onto the shirt. We'll begin with a very vibrant green. Her shirt and hair both are similar in color. But I'll tell you what we're going to do here. We're going to be drawing the shirt in a darker shade of green. We're going to be drawing the hair. We're going to be drawing the hair in a lighter shade of green. But that'll be our little secret. See how there was no exact line, but you know that there was a transition? It's okay to color on top of the pink spot a little bit, which covers up any missed sections and helps it to blend easier. And now, onto the other pigtail. We will repeat the process and do the same thing. It's also good, because this shade of pink is a lot lighter, that we use the lighter shade of green to make sure that the colors flow better. And now when we look at it with the light, we can see the transition from one into the other. Now, it appears I missed a spot yesterday with her sleeve. So, we're going to add a happy little line there and complete the rest of the sleeve. Because as you see, this part of the curved sleeve is on the outside. This is already covering up the other side. Whereas here, you can see into the sleeve. Regarding, sleeve physics, as you can see, I'm now wearing a different shirt. This is the way that the sleeve is positioned on the drawing, whereas the sleeve here is like this. So we need to add in a little spot here, the inside that we see from the outside. So we're going to add in the coloring all throughout. the rest of the shirt. How has your days been? I hope you've all been taking it easy, not stressing out too much. I believe this is in between semesters for elementary school, high schools, and college, so this should be a good transition spot for everyone. Not too difficult, not too easy, although when it comes to schoolwork, having it be easier is usually better, because it means that you can finish it faster and you understand the material. So, I hope you're all doing well at your work or school, or wherever you go. If you decide that your life consists of sitting in a cornfield for 18 hours, eating corn, and watching YouTube, thank you for choosing my channel. Whatever your profession, I hope you're taking it easy. Stress can be a killer, and that's terrifying. So make sure to be good to yourself every once in a while. But don't go too far. Make sure to keep up your responsibilities. I realized my head is getting a little lightheaded because I haven't been breathing regularly enough. I've inhaled and then just slowly been talking, and I have not breathed in as much as I should. Hold on a moment. Okay. Sorry about that. In order to keep this gentle voice, I was breathing in and speaking very gently, and unfortunately, I was not breathing out enough, and I was starting to get a little bit dizzy. I'm feeling a bit better now, and it appears we've drawn the rest of the shirt. Now, we need to get out 2 more colors. My 2 favorite colors, orange and blue. Such happy little colors. Colors of the Capcom logo. And what we're going to do is we're just going to add in a light little shade of orange here. That's going to color in skin here. A nice gentle shade of orange for a little peach. A little peach color. Make sure you're not flushed, just light skin. Don't want to forget the other hand. It looks sort of like a snow cone, doesn't it? A little bit like a snow cone, like out of a cartoon. Now we're going to draw the rest of her body in light orange, and we'll have ourselves a happy little drawing of a happy little angel. Angelwinx. With a lot of numbers and letters. And now we're done. We have completed our drawing. But this is not the end for the stream. Because first of all, I forgot we're not done. I still need to color in her eye. Now we have finished the drawing. The eyes go back on, and we show it off. Since we've gone through the process, I hope you've been able to see all the work that went into this, and I really enjoy this one. It's very cute. This was fun. thank you all very much for watching. But as much as that sounds like it would be the end of this stream, that is actually the end of the first stream. I am going to go straight into the next stream. I didn't want to color that in the off time that I have, and then have you all be gypped and not see the conclusion of it being colored in. Therefore, this will be a longer stream, and we will begin with the next shout out that I got a request for after posting the first episode, which is a bonus to seeing, to this being the next episode a day later. It appears that you seem to like it, everyone, so I am not upset about having 3 episodes in a row in this Bob Ross style. So thank you all very much, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. So, this next picture was a request from Lena Salas. Lena Salas, sorry. And what we will do is pull it up here. She had requested that Holly be hugging someone, and I have decided that someone would be Lena. Here we go. And this was on this episode already. I'm very proud of this stream. As you can see, I have given it a like on my own, actually, because of how proud I am of this. You may think that's cheating, but I decided to do it for this because I'm very proud of how it turned out. And that's why I did it this time. But that'll be our little secret. So, I have drawn the basic drawing already, as I do. We've gotten pretty accustomed to the process at this point. Get out our little friend here, the Sharpie pen, upside down. And luckily, the Sharpie pen, unlike the other pencils, cannot roll underneath my laptop, and it's easy to take out. So I have the sketch here, and we will be inking it in. It's hug time. So, we'll start out with the dresses. They're both in a similar pattern to each other, except Lena is standing sideways, and Lena is standing forward, tilted slightly, and Holly is standing sideways, profile. Here we are. And it continues. And then we will draw the top part of the shirt and Holly's left arm. Holly's left arm is behind Lena's right arm while hugging around. And because I can only draw nubs for hands, Lena's hands will be nubs. This is how it goes. This is what is done. when you draw as Bob Rossington. We're going to finish up part of the dress here. And what you're going to want to do, as a neat little tip, is that you're going to want to draw the body proportionate with the clothing. You see, the rest of the body would not end here. You don't draw inwards like this. You don't draw inwards. Oops. I'm not looking at the actual picture here. I'm looking at the recording, and it's a little bit of a delay, so I can't see where it moves. You wouldn't draw inwards like this if Holly's legs are here, because then that would mean her body caves in on herself. So you have to keep a certain proportion while drawing in order to remain accurate. Whichever side you're on, sideways, profile, or forward, and seeing the rest of the body from the normal perspective, you need to keep the proportion of the person underneath and then add in the clothing, so that this way it's all proportionate to the body, so that this is the part of the dress that juts out on either side, and that this way it doesn't go inwards to a disproportionate amount, and this adds more believability to your drawing. This is a little tip I had learned, but not without making a mistake, because with Thanksgiving holly, let me show you an example. Holly from November, her November outfit, I had drawn her less proportionate. If I can get it out here. I'm working with one hand. I'm going to try to get it out. Here we are. Almost there. Almost. I'm also going to get her Christmas outfit when I had drawn her more proportional. Here we go. So, drawing tip. So, we have Thanksgiving holly here. First of all, the way that her arm kind of sinks down, I'm not proud of her arms here. This sort of turns into an amorphous blob. It just kind of extends on the armpit side. And then her shoulder kind of slouches down and goes up. That's her arm there. And then this arm goes up much too high and then sinks downwards. And it's a lot smaller in proportion and should not be that size. But also, this is where her leg is. Note how her body goes up normally and then sinks inwards. This is not proportionate because it would mean that her body cuts off like this. It would just go inwards and cut that way. But here, it's much more proportionate to the rest of her. So, this is a mistake, and I will show you what it looks like corrected with Holiday Holly, her Christmas outfit. Notice I have improved in my art. I have her arm going over this time instead of being off. Both of her arms are a more proportionate size. This arm now goes into a correct outward motion, and rather than just going straight into a curl right there, it ends up adjusting in position. However, most importantly, if we look this way, the rest of her body is proportionate. If we lay one on top of the other, you can see this better. Note how the rest of her sinks inwards instead, because her dress ended up being disproportionate to the rest of her body. This is a way to help make your figures, when you draw them, feel more like there's actually something there, rather than having the rest of the body just be misshapen, as though they were made of silly putty fitting into a case. I hope that was able to enlighten some of you, and some of you might not even have any idea what I'm talking about. If that's the case, you just got to see some cool behind-the-scenes double hollies. So, we will continue here, the rest of the bow tie. The little hearts, because Valentine's Day is coming up in a couple of weeks. Now this is Holly's arm hugging behind Lena. We will add in a little line here for Lena's neck. And this is Lena's arm hugging Holly on the other side. Now we will start to draw the rest of Holly. It's a little weird drawing Holly from a profile view, because that does not usually happen. We usually see her from the front. So I do apologize for this art being a little awkward. Circles are not necessarily my forte, so the full size of her headphones are a little bit off and strange. I do apologize for this. I do not usually draw profiles of Holly. The only time was for another video. I don't remember if, I believe it was posted. The only other time I drew Holly profile was actually during November, when she was in her food coma. That was the only other time. This will be the second. So congratulations, Lena. Your request is making Handington history. But I don't usually like to draw Holly profile, because it's kind of weird. I don't always have as much fun with it. But I'm happy to practice it on occasion. But if any of you request anything else, I prefer Holly not being profile. Hugs kind of have to be viewed from the side in order to see both figures easier. So that's why profile is a bit more of a necessity. I don't always like drawing things profile. At most, I like having them tilted, similar to how Lena is positioned. Which is part of the reason why Lena is positioned so, because this way I don't have to draw two different profile positions, and they're kind of hugging, not next to each other, but a bit more of an arm hug, like you're happy and laughing, and just kind of have your arms out and hug someone. That's what they're doing. So, in sketching here, it's a bit different than what the actual thing will be. As you can see, the arc for her face, which I will start to draw in to show it a bit better. As you can see, this arc does not match up exactly with her hair. I will show you what it looks like when it matches better in comparison to the sketch. There we go. You see, this was outwards a little bit more. Now it's inwards, so that the angle of this curve matches up with the angle of her head. This way it creates more of a silhouette of her hair surrounding the rest of her head. And then this way makes it look neater. We will continue now to draw her ears. I'm going to have the inside of her ears slightly go off perspective-wise. And the line was a little bit bumpy, so I'm going to shade it in a bit thicker here. You have to be careful when doing this, as it doesn't look nice in all positions, but here it does look very nice, so we lucked out. And nobody will be any the wiser. And that'll be our little secret. You know, I'm not even sure if Bob Ross ever actually said our little secret. I know he didn't say, and that's terrifying. I made that one up for this stream. And the other streams where I do this. However, I do know he says happy little when referring to things. So we're going to draw a happy little happy eye right here. There we go. All happy. Happy little nose. And happy little smile. And happy little tongue. Now, we're almost done here. We're going to draw in the beginning of Holly's hand, where her long sleeve shirt cuts off, and the long sleeve part of her dress, excuse me. And we're going to have Lena's hand cut off right here. There we go. And we'll be done once we add in the bottom part of Holly's dress. And so, the outline is completed. Now, we're going back over to the mandatory part of the show, where everything goes black for a little while I erase. But I was not able to talk about streams yesterday, in the literal sense, so we will be continuing our stream discussion while I erase. Into the void you go. Streams are amazing things. They erode rock. They make them very beautiful. The stones become rounded over time. All of the nicks and imperfections on all of the stones round out, except the ones on the inside, or dents that you can see. Those you also get to see when it's rounded out, and they're little dimples, almost like the rock is smiling, happy that it is rounded. Now I'm going to take you out of the void for a moment here, because, as usual, I forgot something. We did not draw in the bottom part of Lena's face. So we're going to take a minute to add that in there. We're also going to add in a second little hair whisker floof that goes right here. Now, if you also notice, I didn't have that connect with the same line that was Holly's mouth here. So this way, it made it look like two distinctive things. Much like how, when the dresses overlap, this dress, these lines do not connect. It appears I will need to end this stream abruptly. Once more. Goodbye, everyone. We will resume soon. Whoops.